そのシャリンガン、お前はどこまで見えている？
あんたの死に様だ。
Hello, friends! Today, I'm going to tell you the story of Itachi Uchiha and Obito Uchiha, two men who were considered villains by many, yet whose fates were far more complicated than they first appeared. When discussing the most tragic characters in the Naruto universe, it is impossible not to mention Itachi Uchiha. To the people of Konoha, he was a criminal. To many shinobi, he was a traitor. To his younger brother, he was the man who slaughtered their entire clan. But the truth about Itachi turned out to be far more painful and heartbreaking than anyone could have imagined. Itachi was born into the Uchiha clan, one of the strongest clans in the Hidden Leaf Village. From an early age, he was recognized as a genius. While other children spent their days playing and training, Itachi already thought like an adult. However, his talent became both a gift and a curse. As a child, he witnessed the horrors of war firsthand. He saw death, suffering, and destruction. Those experiences left a deep mark on him and gave him a powerful dream: to prevent another war at any cost. As the years passed, Itachi became stronger and stronger. He graduated from the Ninja Academy earlier than most of his peers, quickly rose through the ranks, and joined the ANBU Black Ops. Many believed he would become one of the greatest shinobi Konoha had ever produced. Yet at the same time, a dangerous conflict was growing within the village. The Uchiha clan felt isolated and mistreated, and plans for a coup d'etat were already underway. If the rebellion had happened, it could have ignited a civil war that might have destroyed not only Konoha, but the entire shinobi world. Faced with an impossible choice, Itachi stood between his family and thousands of innocent lives. The village leadership ordered him to stop the coup by any means necessary. It was a decision no one should ever have to make. In a single night, Itachi eliminated his own clan. But he did not do it out of hatred, he did not do it for power, and he certainly did not do it for himself. He sacrificed everything he loved in order to prevent a war. Afterward, Itachi became a criminal in the eyes of the world. He left the village and joined the Akatsuki. To everyone else, he was a monster. Yet every day, he carried the pain of his choice in silence. The only person he could not bring himself to kill was his younger brother, Sasuke. For Sasuke's sake, Itachi continued living. He allowed his brother to hate him. He allowed him to believe he was a heartless murderer, because he believed that one day, Sasuke would become strong enough to defeat him and be celebrated as a hero. Even in death, Itachi continued protecting his younger brother. When the truth was finally revealed, countless fans realized that the man they had hated for years was never truly a villain. He was a person who sacrificed his reputation, his happiness, and ultimately his life for the sake of peace. But if Itachi's story is a story of sacrifice, then Obito Uchiha's story is a story of downfall. As a child, Obito was nothing like the man he would later become. He was loud, kind-hearted, and dreamed of becoming Hokage. In many ways, he resembled Naruto himself. He was often late, constantly helped others, and genuinely believed he could make the world a better place. The most important person in his life was Rin Nohara. She was his light, his dream, his reason to keep moving forward. During a dangerous mission, Obito was crushed beneath a massive boulder and presumed dead. Before what seemed to be his final moments, he gave one of his Sharingan eyes to Kakashi and said goodbye to his friends. But Obito did not die. He was secretly rescued by the legendary Madara Uchiha. And that was where his tragedy truly began. While recovering from his injuries, Obito had only one goal: to reunite with his teammates. But fate had something cruel waiting for him. When he finally saw Kakashi and Rin again, he witnessed a moment that shattered his entire world. Rin died before his eyes. In that instant, everything changed. Obito lost faith in people. He lost faith in the future, and eventually, he lost faith in reality itself. Madara exploited Obito's despair and convinced him that the world was fundamentally broken beyond repair. The cheerful boy who once dreamed of becoming Hokage disappeared. In his place emerged the man the world would later know as Tobi. Obito became obsessed with creating the infinite Tsukuyomi, a perfect illusion where nobody would ever suffer again. For years, he manipulated events from the shadows. He was responsible for the attack of the Nine Tails on Konoha. He played a major role in the Akatsuki's rise to power, and he became one of the central figures behind the Fourth Great Ninja War. Millions suffered because of his actions. Countless lives were lost. Entire nations were dragged into conflict. Yet deep inside him, a fragment of the old Obito still remained. The boy who wanted to help people, the boy who wanted to protect his friends, the boy who dreamed of becoming Hokage. During the war, Naruto saw himself in Obito. He saw a person who could have walked a different path, a person whose life had been consumed by grief and regret. Little by little, Obito began to recognize his mistakes. He realized that happiness built on lies could never be real. He realized that an illusion could never replace reality. And he realized that no amount of power could bring back the past. In the end, Obito returned to the side of good. He fought to save the world he had once tried to destroy. He risked everything to protect Naruto, Kakashi, and countless others. And ultimately, he gave his life for them. He did not die as the villain the world feared. He died as a man who finally found his way back to himself. So, what do Itachi and Obito have in common? At first glance, they seem completely different. Itachi sacrificed himself for peace. Obito tried to reshape the world because of his pain. Itachi hid the truth to protect others. Obito hid behind a mask because he could no longer face himself. Yet both of them were victims of war. Both of them lost what they valued most. Both of them were denied the chance to live normal lives. And both of them proved one important truth. Sometimes, the people who appear to be the greatest villains are actually the most tragic heroes. Itachi chose suffering so that others could live in peace. Obito chose illusion over reality after losing everything he loved. One never abandoned his path. The other found his way back only at the very end. That is why their stories remain among the most emotional and unforgettable stories in the entire Naruto series. And now I want to ask you, whose story do you think was more tragic? Itachi Uchiha's or Obito Uchiha's? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below.